Hi folks, I hope everyone's still doing good. I want to show the gift that Slick Slicer sent over to the channel. But first, we got to take care of, I actually forgot to throw the Cub Scout knife up there on the last video because I wanted to show you guys kind of the difference. Here, let's take a quick look at it down here. And that's a 1987 through 2003. So it's not a real old Cub Scout knife, but it is an official Cub Scout knife. You can see the etch once we get it there, official Cub Scout knife. But it has the liner locks. And I didn't expect Boker to make, they're making a more upper end Scout knife. If you read Zen Ali's comments on the last video, he kind of runs this down even better than I did. So there's a lot of info in there. But there you can actually see that's worn off. The etch, official Cub Scout knife. But I just wanted to show you the liner locks. And in this one, you only have a variety of 3 different choices. You got your knife, your punch, and cap lifter. So they don't even have a can opener on this one. But I guess that's because the Scoutmaster would be cooking the beans. And let's take a quick look. Now I wanted some help with the Opie. Of course, I bought a vintage one just because I didn't want to buy a new one. And as you'll see, it has the Opinel or Opinel France logo out there, stamped out. But it's a lot different than the newer ones. And the newer ones, they'll say carbone on here for carbon. This is back when the carbon ones had a little darker stain varnish, whereas the stainless had a clear varnish with the beechwood. So it was lighter for the stainless and darker for the carbon. This is definitely carbon because you can see it kind of pitting on the top. Excuse me, but I'm trying to get this dated. So if anyone has any help or any knowledge, you can give me some help on that. Without further ado, also that's a 1972 Queen Drakewell Barlow in fantastic shape, and I'm going to be doing a video on that one too. It's a saw cut bone, steel bolster, and I think it's all carbon blade because a lot of them don't last; they get all rusted out. So it's more rare than people think. But let's pull this out and then let's check out this Arthur Wright & Son, which is a Sheffield knife maker. They don't quite have the reputation as a tailor's eyewitness, but who does? But this is a quality knife. I've already brought it to work. Let's get a good angle on it. I love the shape of the clip point. Just some beautiful stag on it. Not sure what kind of steel they use on the blade. This is not a cheap knife. They are like 40 pounds all the way up to 60 pounds. And I think the Stag is like the 60 pounds if you go on their website now, or if you go to look to buy one. So they're not cheap knives. It's sometimes there's some issue with the quality, but I think that pretty much goes around to every knife maker nowadays. Even GEC had some flaws. I seen Slick Slicer bought a numbers 62 that has some flaws on it. It's another angle of the Stag. And what I've always liked about this was I prefer the white Stag over the Samber Stag. Just my preference, I guess. But what's nice about this one is it almost looks like it's stone, either a marble or a bleached out granite. So we'll put that back up there. Or here, let's flip it to the back side, see what we got there. Pile side. All the pins are nice and flush. Transition with the bolsters. Now the story on this is Patty from Patty's Potato Peelers actually bought this knife and did a review on it, and I liked it so much I wanted to buy one exactly like this one on the pedestal. So to my surprise, to get the actual one that I really liked when Patty was reviewing it is kind of special. I know Slick knew I was looking for a Stag handled Barlow, but I'm not sure if he knew how much I liked this A.Wright. But anyway, he found a way to get Patty to sell it to him, which Patty's a class guy, so it probably didn't take him long to sell it over to Eric so he could gift it out to me. And I appreciate it a lot, Eric. You're a great friend and class guy. Gentleman. That's why I initially gifted him a Shat and Morgan really classy toothpick that I figured would fit his style more than mine. And that's just because a perfect gentleman's knife for a perfect gentleman is the way I look at it. But anyway, let's take a look at this still from the different angles. You can see it's a much lighter Stag. It almost has I guess you could probably say a pink hue to it. Kind of maybe like a cranberry hue to it. It's not showing up on the camera, but when you have it live, that's what you get. Let's pull it out, take a look at it. I'll move this to the side. Now it's a single blade and it's quite snappy. Like I said, I had it at work yesterday and got to make some good cuts with it. One of them guys, either Eric or Patty, put a pretty good edge on it, so all I had to do was hone it. It's really sharp. As you'll see, it's a beefier Barlow, which I kind of like. You know, if I'm going to take one and use it as a user for work, I kind of like the more heftier Barlow. It's got a really nice, I like the, it's almost like a swashbuckler Bowie type deal there, you know, the old swords that the pirates had. And you'll see it's also got the downturn. You get that from the Sheffield knives a lot, where you don't have to, if you want to make your cuts, you know, push cuts down or a chop, you don't need a lot of wrist action because the blade angle is perfect for that. And you'll see there's no gapping, really tight. Nice and clean inside. Now there's no half stops, but it's got a good resting point where it gives you plenty of time to get your fingers out of the way. And it comes crashing down. Snaps open. There's no blade. Well, there's a tinge of a blade wobble, but it's still really solid. doesn't line up, but Patty, if you go back and watch Patty's review on this, he did a masterful job explaining how we're all getting a little too spoiled from GEC, because 70 to 80% of the knives you buy aren't going to be centered. I mean, if you want all your pocket knives to have their blades centered, you're only going to have maybe 10. So, but anyway, there she is. She's a beauty. I hate the way this camera keeps changing colors. I think it's because of the color of the opie. Like this little spot here. But she's a beauty and a real good user. So once again, thanks a lot for all you do, Eric, for the knife community. You're a top-notch guy in my book, as is Patty. But both you guys take care. Have a real happy Father's Day. Everybody else have a happy Father's Day. And until then, take care. Good night.